Welcome to another DorkLair collecting video. Today I'm taking a look at the latest Figura Obscura, but I have not actually opened the package yet. Today is, for me, September 11th, and for you, it's September 21st or later, and you already know what it is, but I have no clue. Last time with the Egyptian gods, they sent me a little bit of a clue, which I think was an accident, but I don't have any clues this time. And I think, as if I'm going to try to make some predictions here, I'd like to think about what we've had so far, right? So we've had the very first one that I was able to review and do this whole collaboration with was the Headless Horseman. And then the next one, and this is nowhere near that size. This is not that size. And then the next one last year was the Mask of the Red Death. That was smaller than at least what this box is making me think. But who knows? Like, maybe me making predictions based on box size is like, maybe they're starting to like change it up and not make the box the right size or whatever. They could be, throwing it off. But they haven't really done like a classic Halloween monster. I mean, Headless Horseman, absolutely. But it's like, it's not exactly a monster. Like, it's not a werewolf or a Dracula or a Frankenstein's monster could be. They could go with like the real like faithful look of the novel, which is a masterpiece, by the way. If you've never read Frankenstein, like, absolutely go check it out. It's so good. And, and then maybe like throw in an alternate head to give it that kind of like campy, modern, flat-headed look. Dracula, I feel like Dracula is the least likely of the three that I'm talking about here, because there's like vampires and legions, and is it just going to be a little bit redundant there? And then also a werewolf. So they could, I mean, this feels like a 2-pack. This feels like the Gorgo Attila 2-pack size, or the Furious 4 Legions Con exclusive box size, like somewhere in that range. So, it could be a 2-pack. If it is, maybe it's Red Riding Hood and the wolf, right? Like, it could potentially be that. And they go with fairy tale, but it's like a wolf feels very Halloween in that way. So yeah, those are my predictions. Frankenstein, Dracula, or a wolf of some sort. Werewolf, maybe. All right, so let's get into this thing and crack it open. This box is like taped up like crazy. I'm going to come out this side here, and let's get into it. This is like the part where I'm like, I get a little like, not nervous, but like anxious and excited as I open this up, and then come along this way. Check to make sure I'm still recording and everything's going well. Okay. All right, here we go. I am going to crack it open. Let me try to raise it up a little. I need to go this way because I don't want my address on the screen here. All right, here we go. Opening up the Figura Obscura. And what do we have here? Oh, I love it. Oh my God. They didn't even say monster. They said creature. It is Frankenstein's frickin' creature. So in the book, he's never referred to, at least I don't think, he's never referred to as a monster. In a lot of academics, they actually refer to it as the creature, Frankenstein's creature. I did call that one. So, of course, we're going to have amazing write-up and artwork. Beautiful artwork here. And I just want to like get it open and kind of just get a look at it. So hang on one second. Let me find the knife again. I want to make sure I don't damage my box here. But oh my God, I'm super pumped. Frankenstein's creature. I almost referred to it as Frankenstein's creature, but I thought people would be like, what are you talking about? But that is a thing. Like, that's really, technically, it's Frankenstein's creature. Anyway, here we go. Let's take a look at this. Oh, yes. It has, okay, so it has, like, the diorama stuff. Of course, like, they are just kicking ass with all the awesome diorama stuff on these. So it's got the bed. Let's see what else it's got. Like electrical equipment. It's got like a bell jar over here. Books. numerous heads, like just so much awesome stuff going on in here. I'm going to have to like get it all open and really see what's in there. But it looks like there's like a setup for totally doing like all the electrical like experimentation stuff. It's hard to see everything with the way my lighting is right now. But yeah, let me just do that real quick. Yeah. That is cool. This looks like it might be brute scale. This looks like a bigger body right here. Looks like a pretty big figure. Anyway, I'm going to show you this too. So Frankenstein's like, office lab or whatever. It's been many years actually since I've read Frankenstein, but I've read it a few times and it is a masterpiece. And this is absolutely going to like kick me in gear to crack it open again. It's funny. I was just recommending it to a student today for our independent reading stuff. Anyway, awesome. Thank you for including me. We'll look at all this stuff. Thank you, Four Horsemen. And let's get into this review. DorkLair. And here's the creature out of the box. And this is very much a book-faithful interpretation of Frankenstein's creature. And no, in the book, he is not really a monster. He is monstrous. And yes, he is frightening, but he is very much a person with intelligence and language and self-determination. In fact, you could argue that humanity is the true monster of the book. And speaking of Mary Shelley's masterpiece, Four Horsemen have included a booklet in the same mini-comic-sized format as previous Figura releases. This time there's a brief introduction followed by excerpts from chapters 5, 11, and 24, and a biography of the author. All of this interspersed with Nate Barch's artwork, which we also see on the beautiful packaging. The box is wider than usual to accommodate the crazy number of accessories and diorama pieces, but that makes a bigger canvas, I guess, to showcase the excellent portrait. On the outside of the wraparound cover, Nate did an excellent job capturing both the humanity and monstrosity of the creature. And I love the scenes in the background, sort of this misty purple contrasting with the yellow of his flesh. And with the cover removed, the box has a nice large window presenting the figure and accessories, and the artwork is a highly detailed series of Frankenstein's notes, all hand-drawn by Nate, by the way. The inside cover has a scene of Victor's lab that you can use as a backdrop for your figures and all the accessories and stuff. This set is $70. There will also be a pin and mug available with an all-in option for $100, as well as t-shirts from Retro Rag, so be on the lookout for that stuff as well. Back to the figure here as it spins on the turntable. You can see it is a loaded set, so while the price is a little bit more than a typical Figura drop, it comes with way more stuff, and it's like 95% unique sculpt. The Horsemen continue to build out their array of Victorian diorama pieces. We now have a lab table here, a medical bed, bell jars of various sizes, and primitive electrical contraptions. The only parts that exist anywhere else in the Four Horsemen library of parts are the heads and hand displayed in the bell jar. Everything else, including this entire 1.0 compatible body, is just all brand new. The figure has a number of looks you can accomplish with the swap out parts, boots, sleeveless coat, alternate heads. Very, very cool stuff here. Zooming in, here's a nice close-up of the creature, and the figure itself is a direct translation of the book, like the pale skin, the stretched look, the dark flowing hair, all of that kind of is directly pulled from the book. So that is the look that you get, though you do get a couple alternate heads to kind of give it that more modern, campy, square-headed Frankenstein look. So you get some options here with it. I love just all the details, the stitching, like just it's a very, very detailed paint job on this figure. Like from the wrinkles in the mouth and, that kind of undead look, and there's a little bit of gloss and life to the eyes. It's just a fantastic looking creature, and like it does kind of capture, like I said with the art on the box, you get like half and half. You get the monstrosity and you get the humanity that is at the center of this story. You have this like plastic, similar to Jacob Marley. You have this plastic overlay type vest coat or whatever, ripped coat where the sleeves are like ripped off of it. Lots of just like weathered detail. It's all like him. It's all stitched together, and pieces are separate, right? Like I would be careful here. This could potentially rip off if you weren't careful, but really, really nice looking coat over here with button details, a little rustiness going on. He does have a pair of pants. This belt, the rope is like, it's like kind of stitched on at a couple places in the pants, but it does untie in the front. And then there is some Velcro here holding the pants on. So I'll pull the figure apart and you can see underneath the pants and stuff later. But the pants do have some weathering and some holes and some frayed area at the bottom. And then you have the boots that are big and clunky, and they kind of have that kind of classic Frankenstein's monster campy feel to them. So, you know, you got this look right here. And this really is like, once he gains language and the trappings of humanity, he sort of, you know, takes on this. Or you can do the look where he's like fresh off the table and he's naked and he's, you know, coming to life for the first time as well with the bare feet and all that. And zooming out, here's an overall look of the silhouette of the creature. And it stands just under 8 inches tall, which is pretty much perfect for 1/12 scale if you're going by the novel itself, because he's supposed to be about 8 feet tall. And then in 1/12 scale, 8 inches is 8 feet. And for comparisons, starting off with the first two fall Halloween horror figure obscura drops, we have the 2022 Headless Horseman, we have the 2023 Mask of the Red Death, and you can see he definitely towers up above them, even though all three of these figures do share that 1.0 system. So the parts compatibility is strong between these three figures. And next we have the most recent Figura Obscura drop, and that is the Egyptian gods. On the left we have Anubis, on the right we have Bastet, and just two more Figura Obscura comparisons. On the left we have Marley's Ghost, and on the right we have the Monkey King, two figures from last year. These two plus Mask of the Red Death, we should soon be seeing the retailer versions shipping, because they had Four Horsemen had the factory samples in hand, so these are dropping soon. Next, we got a couple stock 1.0 Mythic Legions figures. On the left is Scapular the Cryptbreaker, and on the right is Krona the Trapjaw tribute. And again, as you can see, even though the creature is on the 1.0 body, it is a stretched out, lanky, tall version of that body. And then a couple customized 1.0 body Mythic Legions figures, two figures that I think represent the future of Mythic Legions. On the left, we've got the Skeleton Legion Builder 2, the base upon which some of these future skeletons are going to be made, and that has the Headless Horseman head on there, which is just an amazing combo. I forget who showed that to me first, but I had not thought of that myself, and somebody posted it on the Cabal or something, and it's just like, it's just a perfect look. And then on the right is the Valiant Knight with the latest Kai Labs soft goods set. And then here we have a couple taller Mythic Legions. On the left is a brute scale figure, which is compatible with 1.0, so it's probably like the closest thing size-wise that you're going to get to the creature here. The creature's a little thinner and lankier, but it's kind of like a very similar frame as the brute scale. And then on the right is the 2.0 body Ias Sapeti and the Great Alien. And while this one is as tall and it's lanky and stuff, this one is not compatible with most of the parts on the creature. And then just two more Legions figures. These are Ogre scale figures. On the left is the classic Ogre Legion Builder. On the right is a Kit Bash using the new Cosmic Legion's Scourge body with some of the Mythic Legion's Ogre scale parts. And then bringing in tall figures from a couple other lines. On the left is the Maestro Union Blade Master Wang, and on the right is the NECA Ultimate Dungeons & Dragons Warduke. And all three of these, I think, look pretty good together scale-wise. Here we have a couple Mezco horror figures. On the left is the Nosferatu figure, and on the right is their Freddy Krueger. Their movie figures usually tend to be closer to that true 6-inch scale, or that like true 1/12 scale, which is actually kind of fitting in comparison to the creature, because if the creature is 8 inches, then a 6-inch figure is a 6-foot tall person. So, you know, if you're looking at Freddy here, he's probably the size, like in book, like within the novel itself, he's probably like the size of Victor compared to the creature. Next, we have a couple Mezco figures in the kind of Victorian 19th century theme. On the left is the Gotham by Gaslight Joker. On the right is the Gotham by Gaslight Batman. honestly, like, these are two of the best Mezco figures that they've done in like the past 5 years. I love these two figures. They are excellent. Here it is with some mass market retail stuff. A couple Hasbro figures. On the left is the retro Green Goblin, which I think just recently got a reissue. So if you're looking for that one, that figure's like available now. And then on the right is Doc from the Classified series, an absolute home run figure from 2024. And finally, of course, everybody is dying to know how the creature scales next to the NECA Ultimate Elf. All right, as we get into accessories, I'm going to start pulling the figure apart just so you can see how the different parts go together, which things slide on and off easy, which might need some heat, and so on. So the head actually pops off very easily. You know, very simple, nice large peg there. And then what I do is I bring the arms back, and the coat also just comes right off here. Just watch out for stuff getting caught on those little thin pieces there. But pull the hands through here, and there we have the kind of shirtless look with the pants. And then to get the pants off, the feet, you might want to heat up the feet. Let me see how mine are right now. Yeah, I'm gonna heat these up with a hairdryer, and then I'll be right back and I'll pop those off. So I applied heat to the feet here, and then I also put some heat on the torso to get everything nice and warm, and hopefully it'll pop apart here now. So yeah, that foot came off nice and easy there, and then the next foot comes right off. And the pants have a Velcro. Now, don't try to remove the rope because that is stitched on, but there is Velcro right in here that will give the pants enough width to come down over the hips, and then those will pull right off, and that's how the figure looks underneath. And then there's sort of like this filler piece right here that helps the pants kind of keep their shape. But this torso has a typical Legion's torso, and once you get some heat on there, that should pop right off like this. And then you can pull this off here. And with all of that stuff removed, then you can take the waist piece right here and put that over the top. It's very similar to the waist piece from the Mask of the Red Death. It's just bigger. It's just kind of like for the larger figure and the larger body. Then we can pop the body back on. And again, if it doesn't go right on, I'm going to go give it a little heat. Okay, so I heated that up, and then that should pop right back on here. And then we kind of have the body back together. And then, so that's one accessory. And then it also comes with a pair of bare feet. So those slip right in here. And again, if they don't go right on, just a little heat with a hairdryer works just fine. As far as these shackles, they are not on the hands when you open up the box. You have to put those on. All you got to do is pop the hands off, and those slide right on. And then the other side here. And then slide that one off there. And then we can pop the hands back on. He does come with an alternate pair of gripping hands, so I'll just put those on for now. And those gripping hands have horizontal hinges. Then let's pop one of the alternate heads on there so we can get a look at that. There's a look at one of the two alternate heads here. Sort of the straight frowning face. And then the other one is that same kind of classic looking, more campy, square-headed look. And that one's got like a grimacing face. And then here's how the figure looks in its fully bare mode, like fresh off the table look right there with just the wraps and then the bare feet. And removed the pants and the jacket and all that. Again, I would count the jacket as an accessory, sort of just another quick look at that. Lots of great details on it, and you know, it's pretty universal. Like, you could totally throw this on some other figures, which I'll probably do in the part swap section of the video. And since the pants are also removable, I would count those as an accessory as well. So we've got 3 heads, pants, jacket, 4 hands, and then 4 total feet. So you got swap out feet. This piece here is just the sort of that waist filler for when you have him wearing the pants on there. And then he's got a pair of shackles for his wrists. He also has a pair of shackles for his feet. So those can go around the ankles. Just pop the feet off and put those around the ankles. And there's some nice little weather details. They look really good. So nice little pieces there. Again, pretty universal. You could use these with pretty much any figures. Getting into the sort of diorama pieces, we have the operating table here. That's pretty cool because it actually turns, so you can have it be a flat table or, you know, vertical table. And then it has these straps here that can stretch fit around these little tabs so that you can get the figure secured in there. And this actually came in 2 pieces, so when it comes in the box, it's just a tension fit where this piece slides into here. And there's some nice details there. There's some weathering, there's some like chipped paint look going on, and then you have the, you know, like this piece. It's not functional, but it's like as if you could use it to crank the thing up and down like a barbershop kind of chair. And then there's an additional table here, sort of like a you know, like a lab table, and it's got the same kind of fit on the bottom here for the stand. The set also comes with some cool electrical devices to continue setting up your diorama. I have them just on the table here, but this one here, I looked it up. I believe this is a voltaic stack, and again, this has to do with like generating electricity. This, I think, is a Faraday wheel, also something to generate electricity. I don't know what these canisters are. They look kind of like they would hold oil, or like they might be like lanterns or something like that, but if they're there to like burn and create energy to create electricity or what, I'm not entirely sure. But it also comes with this wire that you can take and thread through holes in these things. So, you know, you could stick it through here, and if you go back to my opening shot, I have it sort of strung through these various holes. Like, for example, right here, you can get it to come through here, and then you can get them through these little holes here, and just kind of like, you know, chain them all together and use your imagination to pretend it's some sort of mad scientist laboratory. It also comes with a handful of books, and I believe these are the same books that functioned as ledgers in the Jacob Marley set, because they have those peg holes in the back for like how they were attached to the Jacob Marley harness with all the chains and stuff. But really nicely detailed books. Like if you get a close look at them, it's got that kind of leather bound look, and the buckles are all painted, and the pages have some details. You know, some of them have, one of them has, yeah, this one's got like the traditional bookmark built into it and stuff. So some nice little detailed pieces there. Finally, here are these 3 bell jars that you can stick various body parts in that come with the set. So the set actually came with these 2 heads in this hand. But the first one is the skull from the Mythic Legion's skeleton builder or skeleton warrior or whatever it was called, you know, painted differently. And that's a 2.0 neck peg, so that actually won't fit on the creature's body, which it would be too small anyways, scale-wise. But you have that, and then you have this particularly like this very cylindrical bell jar here, and that's just a tension fit. It just works really well. Same thing here with the hand. This is also a Mythic Legion's skeleton hand, and because you can see the peg there. And, you know, it doesn't really have any purpose with this set other than to just be on display in the jars. And then this jar is this little smaller one right here. And then finally, we do have the Hagnon head, and the paintwork is awesome on this. And this is actually painted to match up with the figure. And I'll put that on the figure in a second, but I will say right off the bat, it is very small on that body. But this is going to be great for swaps. This is just an awesome head with an incredibly detailed paint job. It just really takes that Hagnon head to a next level. And here's how he looks with that Hagnon head. Again, it's very small on there, but you know, it can be this kind of creepy thing, maybe shrunken head Beetlejuice style or something. But as you see, it does match perfectly with the body. So you could probably get some weird, crazy swaps going with it. Okay, for articulation, this is very similar to a 1.0 Mythic Legions figure in terms of the number of points of articulation. It does have a hinge at the neck, so it gets a little bit extra there. A lot of the newer figures, I think pretty much going forward, if it's a new sculpt, a new body, they're going to have that neck hinge there, so he can look down a ton and up a ton, and you can cock his head side to side. Neck peg's a little tight there, so you're kind of hearing it creak around a little bit, but a lot of good motion up in that head. Then the arm is on a swivel. You can swing it all the way around. It can hinge up to about here. And then it can come across the body a decent amount too. So you can definitely do, like, if you're going to give him a two-handed weapon of some sort, definitely will work there. Elbow comes a little bit past 90 degrees, and then there is a twist above that elbow, and then you have a twist at the wrist and a hinge at the wrist. That is a horizontal hinge there. Got the ball joint at the waist, tons of movement there, all the way back, all the way forward, side to side, and twists all the way around. And then this waist piece is going to hinder things a bit, but without it, you could kick even further forward. But with it, you get them about here and back a decent amount. There's a twist at the top of the leg. He can go out into the splits. Again, that waist piece gets in the way a bit. There is a hinge at the knee that can come up to just about 90 degrees. There's a twist below that knee there. There's a hinge at the ankle, twist above the ankle, and then there's a rocker down at the ankle as well. And for some part swaps, first one, very simple, just a straight up head swap. This is the head from another Figura Obscura figure, the Jacob Marley figure, the secret head that came in the safe. And this kind of is cool. I think it looks like a prisoner of some sort, with the shackles and the chains kind of connecting together thematically. And it just kind of has that feel of some kind of man in an iron mask, imprisoned kind of look to it. Also has that, gives it more of that monstrous feel. So very cool look here. Next, I just took the waist wraps from the creature and put them on the brute scale Ogre Tharnog's body. I thought that while it's not the exact same shade, it's kind of got a similar feel to the arm wraps and the leg wraps there. So almost maybe like could go for some sort of like mummy kind of theme, or like this with the gladiator helmet, some sort of arena fighter. But pretty cool look here. And again, very simple, just taking that waist piece and putting it on another figure. That head is from the Calavius figure. Next, a very simple single piece swap. I took the coat from the creature and put it on the Cosmic Legion's Canox Vol, and it actually fits perfect. And this might be my favorite of the swaps. I feel like this just looks cool. Gives him a bit more of like a space pirate look, and yeah, looking pretty cool here with Canox. Last but not least, another Cosmic Legion swap. I love the way those long creature arms look on this Gravekeeper body, and I had to utilize that Hagnon head. It's painted so well, it needed a home. So the yellows and the blues with that Gravekeeper, and this is just a single figure swap. So again, it's, even though it's a little more involved with some arm swaps, it's very, very simple, very easy kind of way to just bring a brand new character into Cosmic Legions. Anyway, that'll do it for my video. Final thoughts, I think this figure is an absolute home run. From all of the play accessories and the diorama pieces and the little things that, these are the kinds of diorama pieces that, foam crafters, they don't do these. These are like things that you'd have to fabricate. So not everybody does that kind of stuff. So getting this into a collection is really cool. And they're just like building out this whole kind of world of like Victorian diorama parts. So that's really cool. And then also the fact that they went with a very book faithful rendition, but also included options to make it more of that, kind of Universal Monster-esque, modern day campy kind of Frankenstein's monster. So very, very cool stuff. Love the figure, love all the accessories, all the details. This thing is awesome. Anyway, thank you, Four Horsemen, for giving me the opportunity to be a part of this. Again, this is my favorite weekend in collecting. I know a lot of people consider a Figura drop now to be like their favorite part of Legions, but also of like just general collecting. And it's turned a lot of people on to the Four Horsemen stuff. So thanks again. And until next time, may the Force be with you.